Hello, hello everyone. I welcome you all in lecture 2 on solar cell. In lecture 1 on solar cell, we discussed about particularly semiconductor material and particularly the semiconductor material uh, behavior in the term of conductivity, means conduction of electricity. And in that we discussed about different type of material on the basis of conductivity, and then we discussed uh, how we can increase semiconductor material and why we increase conductivity of semiconductor material, how we increase conductivity of semiconductor material and why we increase conductivity of semiconductor material. And on the basis of that we discussed how we increase, that means we discussed that we can increase conductivity by doping process, and with the help of that we discussed two types of semiconductor material. The first one was intrinsic and the second one was extrinsic. Extrinsic means some external impurity was added in pure semiconductor material. That's why by combining two words, external plus intrinsic, the name generated extrinsic, and it was called extrinsic semiconductor material. If we increase free electron, that means negative charge particles in the semiconductor material by doping process, then that particular doped material was called N for negative and for N type semiconductor material. And similarly, the material which was doped with some impurity to create positive charge particles, that means holes, that particular material was called P for positive, P for P type semiconductor material. And our lecture was concluded in this position that semiconductor material will be of two type. The first one is P type and the second one is N type. And now in second lecture we are going to continue the discussion with extrinsic semiconductor material, and particularly today we will discuss on first of all conductivity, means conducting behavior of extrinsic semiconductor material. We will also discuss effect of temperature on these, and if time permits we will also discuss about the formation of p-n junction and the use of p-n junction. And after completion of discussion on p-n junction we could proceed towards working concept of solar cell. That is very interesting concept actually. So let's start conductivity of, or we can say charge particles. First of all, let's discuss charge particles, movable charge particles in extrinsic semiconductor material. So suppose we have P type semiconductor material. P type semiconductor material means some atoms with 3 valence electron were doped in pure semiconductor material, like a silicon atom that was bonded with 4 other silicon atoms, a particular silicon atom that was bonded with 4 other silicon atoms was replaced by atom with 3 valence electron. So 3 position will be satisfied, but fourth position will be vacant. So for every such doping, hole will be generated, hole will be created. So in figure, if I am not going to show such atoms and if I am showing only hole and this atom, so we can represent it as these are doped atoms suppose these are doped atoms with 3 valence electron, and these small holes, small circles are holes generated because of doping, and these are movable charge particle as we have discussed in last lecture. How these are movable charge particles? We can recall over here. Suppose electron associated with some other silicon atom, suppose at position B, is shifted to this position A for better stability, then there will be a vacancy at position B, and vacancy at position A will be fulfilled. That means in this way vacancy is shifted from A to B, but in this process electron is shifting from bonded electron is shifting from B to A. That means availability of hole in material will provide the facility to conduct electron, and particularly bonded electron. So if it is asked that what are movable charge particle in p type semiconductor material, then we can say these are holes, movable charge particles, these are holes. And if this hole is shifted to from position A to B, that means a electron from position B is shifted to position A. So in this process the doped atom at this position will have now 4 electrons, 3 its own original provided by nature, and 4th electron that is shifted from position B. That means this particular atom that is by nature has to provide only 3 valence electron is now having 4 valence electron. That means it is having 1 extra electron. That means there will be a negative ion on this position. Let me shown by some different color. It will be shown by some different color, suppose red. So this particular atom will be ionized and this will be converted into ion, and this particular will be called acceptor ion, because this atom has accepted 1 electron and it is converted into ion. So all the atoms which will accept such electron in shifting process will be converted into ion. So as we have shown in the figure, this particular figure, all are in the form of atom, but it is not possible all the time. Some may be converted into ion, and after some time all may be converted into ion, because shifting of holes will be continued from one place to other place. But for simplicity is shown that all these are ion, and all have some associated holes. This was some one important part to be discussed. Now come to the point that if we ask about what are movable charge particles, that means we will say that movable charge particles are holes in this situation. Movable charge particles are holes. But in this situation, if some temperature is applied on this material, anyhow, so because of temperature, some bonds can be broken. For example, suppose this is silicon atom and its bond is broken, so due to breaking of bond, there will be vacancy at that position, and with the effect of this, free electron will be created. So electron hole pair will be generated. So suppose in this figure 3 bonds have been broken. So at 3 places 3 holes will be created, but 3 free electron will also be created because of this. That means we can see there are 2 types of movable charge particles. First one is holes that are large in number, because these are dependent on doping. These are created because of doping. They are large in number, but by accident, if some bonds are broken, then some free electrons will also be available. So we can say movable charge particles, holes as well as free electrons will also be available in p-type semiconductor material at some temperature, suppose room temperature. So it is only holes at 0 Kelvin, only hole, but hole and free electron will be at room temperature. Point to be noted. And because holes are large in number, then these charge particles will be called majority charge particles. Because holes are large in number, these charge particles will be called majority charge particles. So what are majority charge particles? Majority charge particles are holes, and these are due to doping किया तो ये मिले. And minority charge particles, these are free electrons, and these are due to temperature, because of temperature increasing or some energy that can break bond. So these are some important point which we have discussed. That means what are possible charge particles in p-type semiconductor material? The possible charge particles are holes as well as free electrons, but free electron will only be available if some temperature or external energy is applied, but free electron will be lesser in number, very low in amount than holes. That's why holes are called majority charge particle and free electrons are called minority charge particles. In similar way, if we consider n-type semiconductor material, in similar way, that means how n-type semiconductor material are created? A silicon atom that is associated with 4 other silicon atom is doped or replaced by some atom that has 5 valence electron. That means its 4 electron will form bond between 4 silicon atom, but its 5th electron will be free electron. So for such all dopings, free electron will be available. So in figure we can show like this. These are doped atoms, bigger circle, and similarly as in case of p type, these are dots in the term of free electrons. So wherever there is doping of such atoms, there are free electrons, and definitely when we apply voltage source, these electrons are free and they can move. That's why these are called movable charge particles. So if it is asked what are movable charge particles? So movable charge particles means the charge particle that can move, particles means that can move, are free electrons. But if we increase temperature somehow, and on increasing temperature, suppose temperature is applied, temperature is increased, and suppose it is room temperature. So if temperature is increased, some bonds can be broken like this. Suppose at this position bond is broken. So if bond is broken, then a vacancy will be created at this position, that will be called hole, and with the effect of that there will be free electron. That means for every breaking of bond there will be electron hole pair, as we have discussed earlier also in the p type and also in lecture first. So if 3 or 4 bonds are broken, in that case suppose 4 bonds are broken, then 4 free electrons will be created, as well as 4 holes will also be created. And now in this case we can see holes are also available, and these are because of temperature. Free electrons are available because of doping. Free electrons are available because of doping as well as temperature, and holes are available because of temperature only. In p type we can include some point. Holes are available with respect to doping as well as temperature. three holes are also because of temperature, plus temperature. There is contribution of temperature also. These four, 1, 3, 1, 2 and 3, these three holes are because of temperature. Sorry, not this particular. These three holes are because of temperature. So holes in p-type are because of doping, majority in number because of doping, and some are because of temperature. And free electron are also are only because of temperature. Similarly, in n-type, free electrons in the material are available because of doping as well as temperature, and holes are available only because of temperature. And because free electrons are large in number, then free electrons are called majority charge particles. And holes are minority charge particles. That means if temperature is not available, minority charge particle will be not available. Similarly, in p-type also, if temperature is not applied, there will be no minority charge particle. If temperature is not applied, there will be no minority charge particles. One more point that should be considered, that in this figure I have shown these big circles for atoms, doped atoms, but always it will be not in the form of atom. When the free electron associated with atom will shift it to some other position, then this particular atom will have only 4 electrons, and then it will be converted into +1 ion. So when electron associated with that particular doped atom is shifted to some other place, and it is possible because that particular associated electron is free, then that particular doped atom will have only 4 valence electron associated with that, that is one less than availability from nature, and then it will be converted into ion, and then it will be called impurity ion, not impurity atom. And because it is donating its electron to this material, it is donating this electron to this material, it will be called donor ion. So if a doped atom is donating its electron to the material, that means it will have now only 4 valence electron associated with that, and then it will be converted into ion. That's why it will be called donor ion. And similarly in the case of p-type, because when it accepts electron, then hole associated with that will be converted into ion, then it will be called acceptor ion, because it is accepting electron from the material. Because this particular whichever is converted into ion, suppose this particular atom accepts some electron and it is fulfilled, bond is fulfilled, then it will be converted into negative ion, and it will be called acceptor ion, because it is accepting What accepting? It is accepting an electron from this material. This particular atom accepted electron from this material, that's why its bond is fulfilled. Then this particular atom will now have 4 valence electrons, but nature has provided only 3 valence electrons. So it will be converted into ion, and then it will be called acceptor ion. So in p type there will be possibility of acceptor ion, that will be negative ion. There will be availability of holes due to doping, and there will be due to doping as well as some fraction of temperature, some fraction of due to temperature, and there will be free electron if temperature is available, temperature is around it. Similarly, in the case of n type, there will be possibility of donor ion, and these donor ion will be because this particular atom is donating electron to the material. There will be availability of free electrons because of doping, and some fraction due to temperature, and there will be possibility of hole in this material, and that will be only because of temperature. So these are related to the charged particles available in the material. Charged particles available in the material, that means if charged particles are available, then it can conduct electricity. And so now we have to discuss conduction of electricity through p type and n type semiconductor material. And if we have a n type semiconductor material, suppose we can use this figure. If I shift this one from this position, then we can use this figure easily. And because I am having such type of material which has free electrons, and if I am applying a voltage source across it, that means free electrons in the material will be attracted towards this side, and holes in the material will be attracted toward this side, and there will be current from left to right current, and most of the current in this material will be because of free electrons. Most of the current because of free electron, and some fraction of current will be because of holes. Similarly, in the case of p type, if we apply voltage across it, then holes in this material will be attracted toward this side, and free electron will be attracted toward this side. Then there will be current, the direction of current will be because holes are moving from left to right and electrons are moving from right to left, then direction of current will be from left to right, and these current will be due to holes. Most of the current due to holes, any majority charged particle, most of the current will be due to holes. So with all these discussion related to charged particles in semiconductor material as well as conduction of current in the semiconductor material, I am going to conclude the lecture, and in the next lecture we will discuss about p-n junction and other related concepts. Thank you.